Be who you are, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. We had a family movie day today and we watched Frankenstein. Jacob Elordi is supposed to be the monster, but honey, there ain't nothing monster or scary about him. He's a tall drink of water, if you know what I mean. I always like to make a moment an educational one. I was talking to my kids about that monster. He looks really scary, right? He doesn't seem very nice. He has poor manners. Deep down, he just wants to be loved like everybody. Who is the actual monster? The guy who created him, right? The one who was acting all highfalutin, bigger and better than everybody. He was the monster compared to the actual monster who was just real sweet and misunderstood. Great moment for me to tell my kids, hey, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't automatically assume someone is something because of the way they look or from what you hear from someone. You have to come up with your own feelings about others. We all have different perceptions of everyone. My kids see me differently than y'all do. My husband sees me differently than my kids do. I see myself differently than everybody. Growing up, I was very tall, the tallest girl in the class. I was a model, looked a little different. Of course, I was treated badly. All the things you can think about with a girl being 6 feet tall in high school. What I learned at a really young age is, oh, just be really, really nice and prove them wrong. I would come home every day after school and I'd be like, Mama, I just don't know why some of the girls are just not being very nice. I don't know why people just stare at me like I'm an alien. And my mama would say, honey, it's because you're intimidating. Well, I don't even know what that means. She was like, you just make people feel a little different. But that's not my problem. I didn't do that. I couldn't understand it because I was like, how am I doing that? All I'm doing is just being present. That's how I picked up on, okay, well, if I'm just super, super nice to everyone, they'll leave me alone. One thing I never did though is I never tried to dumb it down. I never tried to make myself small. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be yourself. You don't have to follow what everybody else does. Just be yourself. I was in high school. I was already reading Vogue. Capri pants had come out, but they were not out in Georgia yet. And pants were always very short on me anyway. I asked my mom if she could cut and sew them into capri. I wore them to school the next day. And of course, everybody's like, oh my God, what are you wearing? Where are the rest of your pants? Yeah, they're called capri pants. Pick up a Vogue, why don't you? Wouldn't you know, a couple months later, capri pants started coming out in the local mall. People started wearing capri pants. At a young age, I learned confidence pretty quickly. And still to this day, people will say, you know, when I first met you, I didn't like you. And you know what my response is? I know. And I stopped trying so much. I am who I am. I'm 46 years old. I'm not going to dumb myself down to make other people feel comfortable around me. I'm not rude. I don't get involved in things that don't belong to me. I stay in my lane. I do my own thing. People usually come around, and those who don't just don't want to. And that's fine. You ain't got to come around me. I am good on my own. Trust. But one thing my husband picked up on, you're so nice to people that it comes off as flirtatious. Really? Yeah, because you've been conditioned to be overly nice your whole life just in order to make other people feel comfortable in your presence. And it comes across as flirtation. Well, I definitely don't want to do that because I am married and I don't want to disrespect my husband in any way. I had to think about it. I really do become overly nice, especially to new people, just to make sure that they're feeling comfortable. And once I caught on to that, noticed I was doing that, I pulled back. I said, I don't need to do that. People are either going to like me or they're not. And even if I'm super duper nice to them, people are just going to choose to not like me. It cannot be my problem. Taking my kids to their parties that they get invited to. The kids are like, Mom, is it okay if I go hang out over there? But I don't want you to be by yourself. I'm like, I'm an only child. I'm used to being by myself. Go hang out with your friends. They're like, but I feel so bad. Don't feel bad for me, honey. I love to be by myself. I love to walk into a party by myself. I love to walk into a room of people that don't like me by myself. I teach my kids that too. Like, you don't always have to have somebody there for you. You have to be your own security blanket. Social media, people have a perception of me, and I am who I am. I let people think what they want because it's none of my business. I have problems just like everyone else. I just choose who I'm sharing it with carefully. I'm just a very quiet person, used to being by myself. If there's turmoil in my life, I just kind of look into myself. Usually I would go to my mom. She's not here. My husband, he's wonderful. He doesn't quite get it like a mom does, right? And I'll tell you, after having to learn to deal with some of the heaviest things on your own, having to just really internalize it makes you a different breed. I am a completely different person than who I was 3.5 years ago. I'm a different person than who I was 6 months ago. When you stop evolving, that's when you have to worry, because why are you not changing? Why are you not growing into the person you're supposed to be? Don't hold yourself back. Be who you are, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. Evening skincare is done.